Well, tonight, police in Boston are taking a fresh look at a case that has baffled them for more than 3 decades.
In tonight's New England's Unsolved, Fox 25's Bob Ward takes us to the streets of Boston, where police are still trying to find Faye Polner's killer.
The murder of Faye Polner took place at a time when so many women were being murdered in Boston. People were marching on Boston Common demanding answers. 33 years later, there are still no answers in Faye Polner's case. But the people who love Faye the most are not giving up their search for justice.
Spring 1979. 18-year-old Faye Polner on break in Boston from her studies at Occidental College in California, enjoying a few precious moments with her niece.
I had a baby at the time, and so it was her niece, and she was very much into my daughter.
ELAINE RUSK is Faye's older sister.
When we were very small, we were very close, and I always felt really protective of her. I think she had an affinity and a love for animals and for fairness. She rode horses and would be hired from different stables to do competitive jumping of the horses in competitions.
In the last weeks of her life, Faye Polner liked to hang out at jazz clubs along Harvard Ave in Allston, Brighton. She was especially drawn to Bunratty's, at the time a well-known night spot.
My understanding was she actually liked to shoot pool in Bunratty's. Downstairs in Bunratty's, they had a couple of pool tables.
At 18 years old, Faye Polner seemed to have the world in her hands. But it all changed on April 28, 1979, in the parking lot of the Joseph Lee School in Dorchester. At 1:35 that Saturday morning, 2 Boston police officers on patrol on Talbot Ave noticed a Ford LTD with its windows down on a rainy night. The car belongs to Faye's father.
And when they opened the door, they found the dead body of Faye Polner. It was the ME's opinion that she was dead for several hours before she was found.
Boston Police Homicide Sergeant Detective William Doogan tells me Faye Polner was strangled to death.
Somebody put their hands around her neck and strangled her.
This is up close and personal.
Yes, it is.
And it's in her car.
Yes, it is. It's up close and personal. I mean, how much more personal could it be? You've got your hands around somebody's neck and you're strangling the life out of them. There's no distance involved. It's however long your arms are.
Soon, Boston police would visit ELAINE RUSK's house, knocking on her door in the middle of the night.
Evidently, my ID was in the car, so they had found my ID when they found my sister, and they had come to my house to talk to me about it. It was absolutely, by far, one of the most intense experiences I've ever had in my life, and one I'll never forget. Detail by detail, I'll never forget it.
And the photos were taken from here. You can see the grass, you can see the whole area. It hasn't changed much in 33 years.
No, it hasn't.
At the Lee School on Talbot Ave in Dorchester, Sergeant Detective Doogan is still searching for answers.
Any significance of the Joseph Lee School back to Faye Polner?
None.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So she's not familiar with this as far as we know.
As far as we know, no.
So we don't know how this car got here. We don't know if she drove it. We don't know if the killer drove it.
That's correct.
33 years after Faye Polner was strangled to death, Boston police are still trying to put together Faye's final hours. On April 27, 1979, hours before Faye was murdered, a man canceled a date with Faye because it was raining that night, and the man only owned a motorcycle.
And we've been in contact with him. He's not a mystery. He's been cooperative with us.
So, police are retracing Faye's steps in Allston Brighton to the clubs like Bunratty's that she so enjoyed. Detectives are still trying to find out if anyone saw Faye the night of April 27th and if they noticed who she was with.
I think we can figure it out. We just need some help rebuilding her last couple of days.
In the weeks after her sister's murder, ELAINE RUSK went undercover for Boston police. As far as she knows, nothing turned up. But ELAINE is not giving up.
That was the only sibling I ever had. I mean, my children will never have cousins on my side of the family. You know, they have no relatives on my side of the family. I mean, yeah, I think about it every time something major occurs in my life. I just have an undying love for my sister, and I always will.
33 years is a long time to hold on to a secret. It is very possible the killer told someone else about Faye's murder, or about seeing her that night, or maybe seeing someone leaving her car in Dorchester. Now, if you can help, please contact Boston Police Crime Stoppers at 1-800-494-TIPS. You can also send a text message. Just text the word TIP to crime. Either way, you can remain anonymous, and you can end 33 years of pain for one family. For New England's Unsolved, I'm Bob Ward, Fox 25 News.